Good evening, degenerates. This is Scott Fitzgerald, aka Loots for Sale on Sleeper, and this is the narrative. This episode is brought to you by the Ballsville game, where fantasy football meets poker, and winnings can be rolled over, either kept or gone all in for the big prize. Today, I have a couple special guests. First guest is the commissioner of our league, Alex. He's known as West
Howdy,
Lex
Scott.
on Sleeper. And also, we have our ADP specialist and one of our game managers, Daniel,
How we doing?
gone by D Payne. For further ado, I'm going to introduce Alex, and he's going to go over the complete Ballsville game. Take it away, Alex.
First of all, dudes, where are you from, man?
I am from Michigan, and I am going to
Michigan.
be moving to Lakeland, Florida in December.
Gotcha. Daniel, where are you?
In Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So where all the Amish people live.
Nice, nice. California, West Coast over here. So we're putting it together in the late hours tonight.
There you go.
So, well, thank you guys for being a part of Ballsville. It's something that has grown in the last 4 years. We started with 8 leagues, and it was so well received, and it just became this place where everybody wanted more of, So yeah, so eventually last year we made it to 64 leagues, and the game ran real smooth, with the help of you guys managing. We've just finished up the second of the Ballsville game. The mini leagues game is a draft early and early game, way too early best ball, rookie inclusive. Kind of call your shot before the NFL draft. We have 40 leagues divided into 4 divisions. We set up wager bonuses, a championship bonus, and divisional bonuses. So you have the same league odds, 1 in 12 of winning your league. You can keep that money, which is a $30 prize, or you can roll that money and go in for the wager bonus and wager against other winners. You're eligible for the $100 championship bonus, the $50 second place bonus, $30 divisional bonus, $30 league winnings, not to mention 2 ongoing mini games that we have right now. Big League Best Ball, which is smaller rosters. We do a super flex, 4 flexes, and it's right now 2 leagues of 20 teams. That's one of our mini games. We also have a text mini game, a draft predictor, where we're predicting where, players like J.J. McCarthy are going to land, or whether or not Troy Franklin is going to be drafted in the first round. People are divided on certain players, and we want to allow you an opportunity to call your shot. If you're playing in any of our leagues, you unlock all of our bonus content. You get Daniel's ADP. He does a great job of keeping track of that. You get Scott, Ludes for Sale.
There you
You
go.
get his content, which is excellent. Thank you again for dedicating your voice to the Ballsville game. We appreciate it. You get a bunch of extras. You get access to our Discord, our community, all of our socials. You get live score updates. So another thing with these tournaments that are out there, you never really get to verify the winners. So that was something that always bothered me, because I would disappear from top lists, and I didn't know if I won. I never got to see the score of the people that took home $6,000 from the tournament. So what we do is we allow you to enter the league of the person that beat you. So if somebody beat you for the division, you can go and check their league and check their score and their settings and make sure it's identical to yours.
So you're very transparent. You're very transparent, and that's what I like about these leagues, and I see that it's very inexpensive. People can play multiple games. I don't understand how you even handle all this, Alex. I mean, all the time that you spend on there doing all this, I don't know how you do it, but I think it's a great opportunity. Now, where can people find you to get on these games?
Well, big surprise, nobody took the Ballsville game. So You can find the Ballsville game. You can search for us on TikTok. We're on Instagram. You can search for Westlex on Sleeper, DM me, directly. There's a Westlex Ballsville game on Facebook. Just search for the Ballsville game on any social you prefer. We're probably there. We have a single video on YouTube. You leave a comment there, I'll come find you. Heck, when we post this, wherever this ends up, you comment here, we'll come find you. We're pretty easy to find. The Discord is actually starting to grow. We have like about 60 members there, so those people are there because they want the first information on the next game that's going to drop. So game 1 is a dynasty game. Game 2 is the mini leagues that we just finished. Those games end before like week 1 of your fantasy football playoffs, by the way. And that's, manager green down here, so
there you go.
Next is the blue. That's going to be your big game. That's our trademark game. That's what started it all. That's the Ballsville game. And then the newest addition down there is red, and that's our redraft game. That comes late July and August. So right now we're transitioning, and Payne is actually comparing ADP from the last 5 of our draft boards for the mini games compared to like 6-7 weeks ago when we first started that first division. We had no combine, and a lot of ADPs have changed, right, Daniel?
Yeah, we also didn't have free agency yet. I think free agency's changed things more than combine just in this game alone. Only because it is a single season. So you're going to see dynasty risers all from the combine because everyone wants the young guy. But in this game, free agents have just changed people by rounds. So 3, 4, or 5 rounds, people are jumping because of contracts or landing spots. So that's pretty interesting to see. Before I go any further, though, I wanted to ask you something. I don't think you hit on it. Is you talked a lot about all the transparency and the money and how much goes into it, but how are you tracking that money and keeping that money?
There you go.
Excellent question. So, one of the latest docs I sent to you was projections, and it was actually screenshots of calculated numbers that I have that I keep on my phone and I keep in a document. And the numbers are calculated because if my math doesn't check out at the end of the season when I go to go pay people, if I'm short, that comes out of either my money or the budget that we have for Ballsville already. Nobody gets shorted, right? So math is important. I keep screenshots of all the calculated stuff, and then I transfer those numbers into a document that's part of our game intro. So when you get approached, if I'm recruiting, and our game intro is actually updated numbers that show you what we take in, what we pay out, the budget that we have. Like for the mini games, out of the 1.9K that we collected in dues, we had about $360 after the championship bonuses were set up. That was for the Ballsville game. Now, most commissioners are going to take that and be like, that's what I get for all the work, right? So I like to give it back to you guys because it's all about the game that we want to play. So that's where the budget for the mini games come up. We had about 10 free entries, and all this is documented. With the visual aids, I'll cut in some images right now so you can see the tables that we keep. Everything is documented now so that when the championship week comes, I can refer back to all these notes and everything's so sorted that the chaos is kind of mitigated. That makes sense.
I'm glad you said it that way, because if you're on the Discord or if you're in leagues, you'll see what he's talking about, because he's very transparent with it. He posts it for anyone to see. It's a Google Doc where it's a photo. He keeps track of it. He keeps you updated. So you're not wondering where money's going and kind of wondering if you're getting scammed there. So yeah, it's real. It's easy. I mean, just pay attention and follow along, and you use League Safe to keep.
Yeah.
I mean, however people feel about that, I mean, I think it's great. That's awesome. But I just wanted you to let everyone know that in case they were wondering why they were like, well, yeah, that's a lot of money, but where's it all go? So yeah.
To be honest with you, one of the biggest reasons that Ballsville's taken off, I think, is because of the trust and the transparency and the expedited payout.
Yep.
We don't wait. I think somebody asked, if they were going to get paid out on Tuesday after the season wrapped up. And I said, well, that's pretty ambitious. And then I realized the games ended on Sunday, and I said, well, I have all Monday, so they were they were issued on Tuesday.
Yep. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those winners last year, but maybe I'll have better luck this year. I honestly, I don't play fantasy football to win money. I just love it.
Play for the love of the game.
That's it. Yeah. So, anyways, get back to some of the ADP. Obviously, most people that are listening to this are following the NFL and all the craziness that's going on. So what I did, I'm Dan, and what I do is I track ADP I try to. It's a little tedious, but I think it's important because I believe this game is different than other games that people play. And if you're in any of the drafts, you'll notice how off Sleeper's ADP is when you're drafting. So you'll see a lot of variance, and you'll see guys that aren't paying attention. Some are sleeping on rookies. Rookies are falling. But if you follow our ADP, you're able to see how our league does and how that follows with the rookies and all of that being included. So I'll start with right now. I'll start with the rookies since I'm talking about them. Right now, our top rated rookie is Marvin Harrison. I'm a little surprised because it's super flex that it's not a quarterback, but I think there's a lot of hype on Marvin Harrison. Maybe you guys can tell me what you think about that hype. I know, Scott, you might feel it's a little
I think
overhyped.
It's I mean, I'm seeing him go in the second round, and it's like
Yep.
When Jamar Chase came out, and a lot of people are kind of comping him kind of that way. There's never that much hype on Jamar Chase. I mean, he was never. I don't remember him going that super early. I don't, and he was back then. He was like the greatest wide receiver prospect to come out in how many years, and now you got this guy coming out, and I would be like in a rookie draft, if I almost would rather just wait and take. I think Neighbors is right there. So
Yep.
I just the hype on these rookies, and that's when the savvy drafters will wait, and they'll pick up the Devontae Adams, and they'll pick up the known receivers and let the rookies go to the guys that get all excited over them. But to have it get rookies usually don't pan out that much in the first year, anyways.
You're kind of putting yourself behind the ball when you're investing, especially at the second and third round pick on Marvin Harrison, not even knowing if he's going to be a Patriot and who's throwing the ball,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, with these early drafts, it's a risk, man. I've seen a lot of drafts where you've got someone taking Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams together within the first 3 rounds. And it's like, you might as well, I mean, you could get lucky, but you might as well throw that out the door. Yeah, so interesting enough, you mentioned Malik Neighbors. I have down here that Malik Neighbors is going 3 rounds, a whole 3 rounds later. So he has an ADP of 62. Marvin Harrison has an ADP of 35. So like you said, why take that risk that high when you could wait and take Neighbors at 3 rounds later?
Right.
Take a proven guy, take a veteran in the second, third, fourth, fifth round. So I thought that was interesting as I was collecting this. Obviously, people are so excited about rookies right now. It's all we're thinking about. I mean, you had the combine, you got the draft is the next big thing. So yeah, I'll run through our ADP for rookies real fast. Marvin Harrison is number 1. Caleb Williams is number 2. His ADP is 50 overall. Malik Neighbors is 62 overall. Rome Odunze comes in at number 4 at 78 overall. Jaden Daniels is right behind him at 81 overall. Drake May is next at 107. Brock Bowers is 111. Number 8 is Troy Franklin. And I stopped my ADP at the first 10 rounds. It gets a little tedious after that, and there's a lot of variance. But JJ McCarthy did fall into those top 10 rounds. So that's how the rookie ADP kind of lines up. Is there anybody there that anybody wants to talk about that we haven't yet?
I really like that you highlighted the big gap between Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors. It's one of those things like the big fear is that he does go to New England, right? Marvin Harrison.
You're right.
So if he does, and Neighbors ends up, in a better situation, literally almost anywhere. I mean, you're getting a better situation, a better value in the later rounds, boosting your chances. Uh, the rookie love is actually what propels the mini leagues. Obviously, people want to get in on these rookies before
Yeah.
their ADP rises, and I think people are just kind of overestimating how much these rookies' value is going to increase.
Yeah, you
It's
see
kind
it.
of
They start
simple.
overdrafting, overcompensating, and got to try to beat the next guy. So, yeah. How about you, Scott? Any of those guys?
I'm kind of looking at the draft board right now. Yeah, like this one draft. What do you guys think about Puka? I mean,
I'll let you go, Denny.
you think he's going a little high? Just a little aggressive?
Way too high, way too
Way too. I mean,
overvalued.
he's going. I've seen
It's
him go at the end of the first round.
Hmm.
I've seen him wide receiver. I've seen him above St. Brown. I've seen him above Tyreek Hill. Like it's been a
He's
little
going.
bit
He's
wild.
going. I've seen him go. Like I'm looking at this draft right now. He went ahead of AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson. Guess who was next at the end of the second round? Marvin Harrison. Somebody took Marvin Harrison at the end of the second round.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
A lot
going.
of Marvin Harrison.
So I mean, there's some. I don't know. I don't think Cooper Cup is totally dead. Cooper Cup, he was injured. He is starting to decline, but he's gonna Puka Nakua is not gonna have 1,500 yards again this year.
No,
Doubtful.
So
unlikely.
I
Yeah,
just think that in that offense, before Cup was hurt, Stafford was going to Cup. I mean, that was his guy. So I think it's going to be more of a this year. It's going to be more of an AJ Brown, Devontae Smith split with maybe Puka
Okay.
getting a little bit more of the the food on the food chain. But I think it's going to be more
Some
of that
games.
kind of a split. Do you guys maybe agree on that or have a different
Yes.
take?
No, I agree with you. I think there's some kind of a emotional bond that players have to Puka or something, based off what he did for them last year.
yeah. I mean, he was a league winner.
You're fortunate to get a healthy Stafford all year long. It's not really prescriptive that he's going to do that again. So I'm with you. I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I got one more guy I want you guys to think about here and let me know where you got this guy. Kyron Williams.
Not where he's
No,
going.
I've been fading him. I mean, I'm looking end of second, early third round ADP. That's high. That's very high.
People are picking him over Bijan, I've seen him go over Brees. It's
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't take him over those guys. But what about like Saquon?
I think I'd still rather have Saquon personally. I'm also an Eagles fan, so what the heck do I know?
Now, see the way I look at Kyron is I may be a little higher than you guys, and it's just because of the way he is utilized in the offense. McShay has always been a one back guy. If you go back to Todd Gurley, it was all Todd Gurley, and he's been trying to
yes.
find that running back which is a bell cow running back. And I mean, even when he got injured last year and he came back after injury, they just fed him. And
But he did get injured.
he did get injured, yes, but I mean, he's going to use him if he's there. So I mean, I would not take him over Brees or Bijan, but like, I would take him over Saquon.
Well, to be honest with you, at the point where I miss out on Brees and Bijan, and even Jonathan Taylor, at that point, I'm looking more towards elite wide receivers
Correct.
before that tier is depleted. And if I can't get that, I'd rather have a quarterback with that pick because it's usually at the end of the second if it gets there.
Right.
So I'd rather have quarterback or wide receiver security in those early rounds if I can't get one of the elite RBs. I will say this year, it does seem like if you miss out on one of those first or early second round RBs, you're kind of shooting blanks, at other players and hope that their situation carries them to better outcomes. It's pretty scary at RB this year.
Right. Oh, and one more quick, I want to throw one more in there and then I'll shut up. I want to see this.
You're
How
good, Scott.
far?
You're good.
How far is too far for Travis Kelce?
Oh, that's a good question. Go ahead, Daniel.
He's dropping a lot. I mean, I think he's still, is he even tight end one? I'd have to look at the
No,
ADP.
he's not tight end one. It's Laporta.
I don't think he's tight end. I don't
Laporta.
think he's tight end one in our ADP. And I'm guilty of this as well. I've skipped him in several drafts. But
You got to say he's a
yeah.
screaming value. He's got to be a screaming value by now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting him at tight end 3 or 4, I mean, that's a steal.
So listen to this. I'm in it's league 410, right? It's Archangel. It's the final league of the mini leagues, the final draft. And I was so elated to get Travis Kelce here with pick 6-2 in the sixth round.
That's so
I just
gross.
pulled that up. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is he's the second one off the board in that draft. I think he is.
He is, yes.
I think it was just a lot of fading tight ends in that draft.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta went before him, and then that was it. But yeah, 6'2". I mean, you're talking about a couple years ago, a guy that was a first round pick. Wasn't 2 years ago.
Shit, last year.
And
last year was
probably
going at
first
the end
pick.
of the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just has to split the difference there, and then that's going to be a key win, and that's how you win these best ball games, right? Is that upside? So
yeah, that upside.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a lot of people playing these games. So our league safe is capped off at 200, and we didn't quite hit that. So we don't have 200 members. I think we're at about 180 something members for the mini games. So all different sorts of people drafting with all different sorts of strategies, and it's kind of exciting to see all this, right? So for the spectator, the listener, or whoever watches this, these guys are managers, so they have access to, this is the AV manager bot right here, the purple. That's for our dynasty leagues. These guys can access that account on Sleeper and look at draft boards, look at what's going on in the leagues, trades, and all that stuff. Green is for the mini leagues, so that's how Daniel here is looking at all the draft boards and accumulating that data. So as we move from game to game, they're able to jump into these manager skins and come and see what's going on, without all the flood on their personal accounts, right?
Yeah,
so
it's been very helpful.
That's how we're sharing data.
Yeah, it's been very helpful. And in that data that I use that for, I wanted to touch on some of the free agents that I think are very key. So in the beginning, you had guys that weren't signed, and it seemed like running backs, because of last year, weren't going to get any contracts. Last year, people were, not signing any running backs or signing them late, and now this year they're the first ones to get contracts. And you see that compared to, a couple weeks ago when we drafted, and then now you have guys like Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley. They're rising because they have this security. They have a contract. They have commitment from a team. So the biggest one, I think, was Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was a 66 overall, and he jumped to 32. Yeah. So quick math, I think that's almost 3 full rounds. And that's just because he got a 4-year deal, which I thought was kind of crazy from the Packers. I didn't see that coming. But you see things like that. Like Saquon, he even rose. He rose from 31 to 24. The other ones would be the quarterbacks. You're talking Kirk Cousins getting $180 million. And then I forget what Baker's contract was, but Baker went from 86 in ADP, so you were getting a good deal on him, drafting early. And now he's 62 overall. So you're jumping 2.5 rounds, and now you're getting Baker. So you see that Kirk Cousins was 59 and he went to 45, so a little more than a round. But there's a lot of movement in the ADP from the beginning to the end, just on a lot of rookies, but also where they land in free agency. That's key. The contract, the security, the position that they're going to be in, the scheme, all of those things. I mean, Josh Jacobs lands with Green Bay. It's running back friendly. We all seen Aaron Jones past 5-6 years. That's a running back friendly. Yeah, I think they brought back AJ Dillon, if I'm right.
Yeah, Green Bay brought back Dillon.
Yeah, but I mean, Dillon was nothing to Jones the past couple of years. So I think you're seeing that with Josh Jacobs' value now, that you have to almost seemingly overpay to get him, but you have that security. So that's what I do. That's what interests me. I like to watch the boards. I like to see who's getting a good deal or overpaying, and maybe judge silently from the background.
So it's not just that the what does it do for Josh Jacobs? You know, we know what it does for Josh Jacobs. That's a clear picture to see. But what also occurs is that Zamir White stock goes up because now suddenly he's stepping into this perceived role. And
Yeah.
there's a headline came out today that they signed Alexander Madison now, right? So what kind of competition is he? He's at least going to get a little bit of the workload if he can prove it useful at all, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now that that
Simeon
information's
has-
out there, we go from the mini leagues. We're on a month hiatus now, but then we get a little bit more news and we get all the excitement for the NFL draft, and that's going to propel us right into the big game, the big Ballsville game, right? So you guys are also managers. You're not just the AV team, you're also managers. You help run the games, you help with the wagering weeks and all that stuff. And I'm personally, I'm excited to have you guys. You guys do a terrific job. I mean, being here today shows your dedication and all that stuff. We grow and progress together. And I'm pretty excited, going into the big game with a solid plan, strategy and experience. And that's a big one.
Yeah.
So I want
I
to
agree.
thank you guys for coming with us.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I want
anything else
to
say?
add one thing.
Go ahead,
I
Daniel.
do, because I'm excited for my second year, because I actually know what's going on. I got in last year. I know there'll be some people that join, or some listeners that'll just be a little bit confused. It has an element to it that other leagues don't have, so you have to learn that.
Mhm.
The easiest thing is to ask questions to your managers. That's how I learned so fast. And once I figured out what this game was, I couldn't get enough of it. I was just drafting. Like I said, I didn't win, but it's low risk. It was just, it made so much sense. It was so much fun. The crew here is awesome. Even the people that I see them, they're regulars all the time. I mean, they're in a bunch of leagues with me. I just have a great time chatting it up with them. But yeah, if you get in here and you're a little confused, please ask a manager what's going on, and we can explain it. Once it clicks, and you'll understand, like, this game is way better than just a regular league I can join on Sleeper, like 100%. That's all I want to add.
All right, cool. And I'll wrap it up with just my take on the whole thing is, like what Daniel said, it was low risk, a lot of fun, lots of elements. I mean, I was already asking Alex today, hey man, I want to get in a startup. When's the startup coming up? I think they're all full. I'm like, damn, I might have missed out. I had to jump in a mini game because I saw Alex's name in there. I'm like, I got to go against him. So I mean,
Love it.
you get to see these guys, and you get to see other names that you're familiar with, and you want to jump in these games. And the super flex aspect, I love super flex. I like the roster setup, the point system. Just and like I said, there's so many different avenues. If you want to do dynasty, if you want to do best ball, redraft, like Alex said, the mini leagues.
Yeah.
There's something for everyone, and I think it fits everyone's budget. I mean, we're not like Daniel said earlier, we're not in this for the money. We're in this because we love the game. And I just met, including Sean today, who we'll talk to later on. I just met 3 new friends in like 2 weeks. So I mean, it's great. And plus it keeps us away from our wives for a little bit. So we got some guy time. So
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
But this we're gonna wrap up this pod, and like I said, we'll bring out another one. We'll try to get this going, hopefully maybe once a week, and for sure when it gets closer to the season, and we'll have some other content. Hopefully next time we'll be able to get into some of the rookie quarterbacks and rookie tight ends. Daniel he'll let us know where they're going, and as far as the ADP going in these rookie drafts, and maybe we'll have another new guest on. But until then, we'll just talk next time, and we'll wrap this up.
All right. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right,
You
thanks,
too.
guys.
See you, fellas.